So it's pretty late, but this is the first 3D print. This is basically just the Robo R1 keychain. And there's a lot of there's a lot of vertical movement in the actual printer. I went to go print it. And that's a common problem with this because there's no vertical support on the printer itself. If I put my finger in here right now and go to move this, this is a pretty loose support itself. What I've done is I've printed out two support pieces. One's for the left side, one's for the right side. They pretty much just go over the pieces themselves. They get glued to the walls of the printer. And you can see that the quality isn't too high on this. I'm not only printing at medium quality, but the print job is pretty good down at the bottom, but as it starts to get higher, it has more shaking and more weight added to it, and it prevents the job from being very crisp. So now that these supports are printed, it'll be a much cleaner job. In the true spirit of how I do things, I've already started to take this thing apart. There are 4 screws that hold the top plate on, and I pretty much just need to lift that up to put on the vertical support bracket. So this is the right hand vertical support, and so I just put that in there. And so when I put the thing back on top, I'll spin it around, and then I'll put some sticky tape on this side. Well, not sticky tape, I'm going to put 3M mounting tape on there. Now I got both of those in there, and now I just got to put the right back together. So I put the screws back into the printer, and both of the supports are in now. I mean, you could essentially print with this right now. The supports no longer move, or the Z supports no longer move at all. But I do have my, well, yeah, it's a messy room around here right now, but I'll find it eventually. But I have 3M mounting tape that I'm going to use to put that on there. And I moved it from the wobbly glass table to the more solid dresser on the other side of the room, and that should take care of a lot of the shaking in the actual model itself. Alright, so you can see that the first layer came out pretty well, and it stuck really well. For how much shaking there was, I didn't have a big problem with the, it actually moving the platform. But this is supposed to be a keychain, and although it came out okay, it's extremely rough. And I could, of course, sanded this down and make it look better. But out of the printer, a print job should not look like this. And this is the reason for the vertical supports. And this was the first print after the vertical supports. And this is a symbol for my car. I own a Volkswagen Rabbit. And as you can see, like, each layer is put together real well. And I mean, you compare the two that I had. I mean, like, for this to be the first print after, and I mean, like, I didn't change any of the settings in the software yet because I didn't know how. Well, I knew how, I just didn't know what would be beneficial. But I mean, like, if you look at this, supports, or not the supports, but like the way that the vertical structures lined up was a lot better. I mean, this is, I mean, immediately the first print after I printed the vertical supports and installed them. And you can just see, like, that doesn't need any sanding because it's just so smooth. And yeah, it was a really good print, but I'm getting better and better at printing. But that's my 3D printer, and it's getting better and better, and soon I'll be printing out a lot more stuff.